dojo, ain't no days off. The way isn't training, you don't bleed in practice, you die in the field. Look, swinging the wood till my knuckles are bleeding. I don't need rest, it's the combat I'm needing. 10,000 hours, I'm locked in the zone. Carving my spirit right down to the bone. Stepping my radius, watch how I sever. I'm swinging this blade like I do this forever. Practice make lethal, the rest make me cold. I'm gripping the steel till my body gets old. You talking that talk, but you skipping the gym. I look at the weekend, I pity for him. Every single morning, I wake up and strike. You never seen discipline looking like. I empty my lungs and I swing out the chest. I treat every shadow like it is a test. The way is the practice is war. I leave all my enemies down on the floor. Rep at the right, yeah, we put in that pen and don't talk about love, but the way isn't training. Blood on the wood and the sweat on the mat. I'm drilling the bases, I'm leaving it flat. Rep at the right, yeah, we put in that pen and don't talk about love, but the way isn't training. Slide in the footwork, I pivot and pop. I'm built for the trenches, I never will stop. Look at the calluses, cover my hands. I'm executing these tactical plans. You sleeping in late, I was up in the dark. Leaving the den and the wood in the bark. Slow down the tempo, I'm taking my time. Perfect the angle, I'm perfect the crown. 1,000 more cuts just to build up the muscle. You don't understand the extent of the hustle. Drilling the parry, I'm drilling the block. I'm beating the sun and I'm beating the clock. There ain't no secret, there ain't no hack. You step on the battlefield, you don't come back. Unless you put hours and hours of sweat. I am a consequence, I am a threat. Continual practice, I never retreat. I'm dropping the opposition at my feet. Rep out the rep, yeah, we put in that pain. And don't talk about love, but the ways in training. Blood on the wood and the sweat on the mat. I'm drilling the bases, I'm leaving it flat. Rep out the rep, yeah, we put in that pain. And don't talk about love, but the ways in training. Slide in the footwork, I pivot and pop. I'm built for the trenches, I never will stop. No days off, no excuses. You skip a day, you slip away. Strike 1,000 times before the sun is up. My mind is heavy, but my blade is light. Drill it again. Yeah. Aggressive approach when I step in the ring. I swing with the force that a hurricane bring. Master the form till the form is a ghost. I'm doing the most when you're doing the least. I turn myself into tactical beast. The way isn't training, it's session my brain. I'm walking through fire, I'm walking through rain. Ain't no arrival, it's only the grind. I'm leaving the rest of the rookies behind. Grab out the rail, yeah, we put in that pain. And don't talk about luck, but the way isn't training. Blood on the wood and the sweat on the mat. I'm drilling the bases, I'm leaving it flat. Grab out the rail, yeah, we put in that pain. And don't talk about luck, but the way isn't training. Slide in the footwork, I pivot and pop. I'm built for the trenches, I never will stop. Keep swinging, keep drilling. The ways of practice, yeah. Yeah. The ways of
I see the kind of great inside. I see the empty space where the Jira and refinement right in the middle of the floor and off that. We were filming a beautiful commencement for the graduates who couldn't have their own celebrations like this one. When we look back on it,
absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And these are the same people who are going to be complaining about in the next 6 months, next year or so, talking about, oh, there's no jobs. But guess what? Guess what? You showed the CEO of Google how you really feel about him by walking out as he was about to give the commencement speech, giving you guys so much insight, so much direction on where you need to be looking at. Because you guys keep listening to these college professors and, oh, we got to fight for this and fight for that. How about you fight not to be a loser? And we're going to go over the full commencement speech that Sundar Pichai gave in a separate video, probably going to be for Monday's Candid Conversation. But I just wanted to show you how backwards thinking that these people go and they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loan debt to walk out on the person who's probably is in the best position to help them pay it back. That is absolutely wild to me. But hey, if that's what they want. If it was up to, and I'll go into more details on this when we do the full review of the commencement speech, but for every one of those students who walked out, I would absolutely blackball them, because at the end of the day, even if you don't agree with what the person is saying, have some respect. Have some respect. So I would blackball them from Google, from Meta, from Nvidia, from Netflix, from Amazon, because guess what? This isn't about Sundar Pichai. It is about any tech CEO from Tesla. I would blackball all of them. You're out of here. That's how I feel about this whole matter. But welcome to the show. Thank you for joining. I am Tech Coach Ralph. We are Engineered to Win. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, go to techcoachralph.dev, join us for exclusive content, as well as our vibe code and chill sessions and our Scrum nights. We are in the building. We have some great topics tonight as well. We're going to be working on, I've been kind of backed up on my Scrum work for our Scrum night, and the Tech Barbarians are waiting on me. So I'm going to be working through some of our stories, and you can basically see how you would end up working in a real day-to-day environment. You have your stories, you go and you see what needs to be done, and you just start doing them. Normally there's going to be like a daily Scrum meeting where people are getting organized. Let's just act like we did that. But I'm going to be working through some stories. During our breaks, during our conversation, we have some really good ones. So we're going to be talking about robot nurses deployed in Odessa hospitals. Yes. Oh my God. Do you know how they keep saying that, oh, AI will never affect the healthcare industry? Well, guess what? Humanoid robot nurses are in the building. So we're going to be reviewing that. We're going to be talking about how McDonald's plans to use AI in their drive-thrus, which I thought fast food restaurants were already doing that. I think Wendy's is doing that already at least. But we're going to find out how McDonald's plans to implement it. And the Microsoft AI CEO says healthcare, yes, again with the healthcare. Oh, this one. The healthcare is the most important application of AI. Does that put fear in you? Does that put fear in you? Are you scared? Are you scared by that? So that is what we have on the docket for today. Let's go ahead and take care of a little bit of housekeeping. So thank you to all of the subscribers to the channel. Shout out to my guy Junior, already in the building. What's good? What's going on? How is everyone doing on this beautiful Tuesday, June 16th, 2026? We are officially past the halfway point of 2026. June 16th sits right in the middle of the halfway point. We're 6 months in, 15 to 16 days into the month. Right there. Now we're on the other side of the hill, going down. How are your plans, your goals, your quote unquote resolutions for 2026? Did you give up already? Did you give up on January 17th? Are you still in it to win it? That's a serious question. That is a serious question. How are your plans for 2026 going? Mine are going pretty well. You know, we keep on pushing, we keep on trucking. And I have I'll tell you this in a little bit as we get into the show. But yeah, shout out to everyone. Hopefully you're doing amazing. So happy to hear from you. So happy to see you guys in the building. So some housekeeping real quick. So thank you to all the subscribers who are helping us grow so rapidly. Really appreciate you. Shout out to my Tech Barbarians, working so hard day in and day out. I am so sad that we couldn't have our vibe code and chill this past weekend. I was just traveling. I just wasn't gonna make it. And I was exhausted. I woke up around 3 a.m. on 3 a.m. Central Time on Saturday morning, and got home around like 4 o'clock. And 2 layovers, time zone switches. I was done. I was done for. It was a hot mess. But we are here. We're back. I was live on Sunday. Got videos coming out. We're back in business, because guess what? We do not miss. Shout Shout out to my tech mercenaries out there. Shout out to you guys. Thank you guys for allowing this content to go across the world on the mean streets of YouTube. We are just in it to win it. So let's go out there and let's get it. Tomorrow, I'm going to be dropping a video on our software experience. We're going to be exploring and reviewing Gemini's quotas, Gemini's usage limits. They implemented that earlier this month around the time, or it was around the time of their IO event. Maybe it was late last month, but there are limits. I remember the first time I hit a limit, the first time I hit a limit and it said, no mas, do not come. I was like, I was appalled. I was hurt. So we're going to be breaking down what these limits are, what causes them to run up, how you can best use Gemini to be efficient so that you do not end up like me, being locked out, having the infamous words
do not come
told to you by Google and Gemini because you got excited and used it the wrong way. So we're going to be exploring that, all of that good stuff. We're going to be back live again on Thursday night, working on probably our jujitsu stuff, which I do have something to say about jujitsu, but I'll get to that in a minute. And we're going to be dropping the bug bite on Friday. You know how we do. We don't miss. So, let's get into this first story, right? Because we'll probably do 2 working segments. We have 3 stories, and then I'm going to talk about, maybe I'll talk about jujitsu after our first working segment. But let me check the chat real quick. Say hello to my friends in the building. We got my guy Junior in the building. What up, Junior Largy in the building?
What's up?
What's good, Junior? How are you? What's going on? How you doing? I mean, I know you're doing amazing, but you know, we have that report where I have to ask, and you're gonna tell me absolutely fantastic, amazing, even when dumb people are annoying, but I am still doing absolutely amazing. So that's why I love my guy Junior Largy. Junior says, I agree, blackball them indeed. They need to feel the consequences to their actions. And some people should I say, oh, you know, they're young, they can make nope. If you can join the military and take lives, you know, if you can join the military and you know that you're supposed to respect your people, your higher ups, your lieutenants, your commanders, your generals, whatever they're called in the military, you should also be able to respect a commencement speaker and not walk out. I'm just saying. I am just saying. So I say get them out of there. Get them out of there. You are banished to Starbucks, Walmart, JCPenney. Well, JCPenney is hiring humanoid robots to work in the factory. So I don't know, but you should be banished. Starbucks, Cheesecake Factory, all those places. Those belong to you. Those belong to you. But for the tech jobs, for Google, Netflix, Amazon, you're not welcome here.
do not come
You are not welcome here. All right. Junior says, what about Lovable? I need to know tricks for that one so they don't tell me do not come. See, the thing with Lovable, I think they only offer you one model. And it's like it's really based on the amount of work that you're asking me to do. So, you know, and Junior says, absolutely amazing. We got my guy Rod Disappearing Act Brown in the building. What up, my guy Rod Brown says, salute family. Salute to you as well, Rod Brown. Rod Brown, are you going?
meep meep
And Rod Brown, remember this. Make sure you give me all, and when I say all my acknowledgement and all of my credit because you do not want me going on a rant and making videos about you, Rod Brown, because if you don't give me my acknowledgement and my credit, then all right.
So that was cute.
Okay, Rod Brown, I'm warning you. Give me my acknowledgement and my credit and all of it, 100% of my credit. All right, I'm just saying. All right. Anyways, Rod Brown, you might like tonight's topics because we're going to be talking about AI in healthcare, AI, humanoid nurses in Odessa, Texas, and AI in the drive-thru. All right. Robert says, acknowledge me. Yes, yes, yes. I want all my credit. All right. Not half of it. Don't wait. Don't wait. Say, oh, you know, he was such a good guy. He helped me with this and that, and listen to all my pouting. I want my acknowledgement right now. I want to be able to hear it myself. Okay. So acknowledge me. Okay, Rob Brown. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. Anyways, enough fun and games. Let's go ahead and jump into this first topic of tonight. So Microsoft CEO, he says that AI is the most important. AI healthcare is going to be the most important part of AI. Let's go ahead and jump into this one.
Sticking with healthcare, AI is already helping researchers develop drugs faster and helping doctors analyze patient data. Now, Microsoft is partnering with a giant in the medical field, the Mayo Clinic, to try and advance diagnoses and treatments. Joining us now in an exclusive interview from Microsoft Build in San Francisco is Microsoft AI CEO Mustafa Suleyman, Mayo Clinic President and CEO Dr. Gianrico Ferrugia, along with our Kate Rooney. Kate.
Melissa, thank you so much. Gentlemen, it's great to see you both. Thank you for being here.
I'm just going to say this right now. Respectfully, I miss Deidre. Respectfully, but Kate is cool too, but I don't know. Where is Deidre? Where is Deidre?
Day for Build. So you guys announced this joint partnership. Mustafa, maybe we could start with you. And for our audience, you are sort of a household name in San Francisco in AI. You were a founder of DeepMind and sort of a founding father of this technology. What is the importance of having a exclusive AI model for healthcare? Why does it matter? And tell us a bit about this partnership.
I mean, healthcare is perhaps the most important application of AI. This is why we create AI models. We want to do the best that we can in the world, make all humans healthier and happier and live longer. And so partnering with the Mayo is a lifetime dream for me personally. It means that we're going to have access to perhaps the most valuable, the most integrated, longitudinal patient data set in the world. And I think together we'll be able to build something really incredible.
And Dr. Ferrugia, for you, I wonder how you measure success here. It's different than a lot of the Fortune 500 companies we talk to when they talk about financial metrics. The outcomes in healthcare are a bit different, but the criticism has been that the technology investment hasn't paid off. What does it look like for you? And are you seeing the actual results, positive results, and the outcomes you want based on the spending that you've had to do?
Sure. First of all, Mayo Clinic is a not-for-profit. We're driven by our primary value. The needs of the patient come first. We provide outstanding care. We're rated as #1 healthcare system in the world. But we also know that most people will not have the opportunity to visit us. So for us, a big return would be if more people get access to Mayo Clinic. We have, over the past 7 years, built our Mayo Clinic platform. We can reach about 100 million people. This, working with a like-minded company like Microsoft that focuses on excellence, allows us to reach much further. And we're already seeing in some of the models we have deployed that we can see both an increase in our ability to create diagnostic efficiency, but also to reduce the burden on our staff. And therefore, that is a measurable outcome that we keep in mind, which is our patient outcomes actually better.
And Mustafa.
Ooh, people not gonna like that, because you can say that Mustafa, the CEO of Microsoft AI, is, he's no Sundar Pichai, but he's there. He's very important. We're being this AI CEO of Microsoft. So if they walked out on Sundar Pichai, they'll definitely walk out on him. But people are always talking about, universal healthcare and making it healthcare affordable and insurance this and insurance that. And now you have Microsoft, which people hate, although they use it every day, right? I'd say the majority of the market share for operating systems is Microsoft. People hate Microsoft, but they can't help but the same way they hate Apple. I mean, they might not hate Apple, but they might hate the CEO of Apple. That's a whole different story. They walk out on the CEO of Google. Right? They walk out on the CEO of Google, but they're going to do their Google search, right? So, but now Microsoft is partnering with Mayo Clinic, who is trying to help people with their health and all that good stuff. I do have a question that we're going to address at the end, though. I do wonder how this is going to work with Microsoft AI and the Mayo Clinic, because if they're training off of patient data, What about HIPAA? Like, how does that affect HIPAA violations? What type of information they're getting? I don't know if they're going to talk about that in this particular video, but you know that we have our trusty Gemini with us right here. And we're going to look at that. And like I said, we have our trusty Gemini. Check out the video that I made on how to efficiently use Gemini so you don't burn all of your quota, all of your usage limits all in one go. All right.
But who do you anticipate using these models? Is it for consumers? Is it, a medical question that somebody might ask about their kids, or is this really for doctors?
I mean, the number one goal here is to put the patient first and do whatever is necessary to improve patient outcomes. Sometimes that's going to mean going direct to the patient, which we will certainly do through our own Copilot Health experience, but also through the digital front door that Mayo have created. But of course, we also want to make the job of a physician easier, faster, give them more accurate information, more real-time information, improve the diagnostics that they can do too. So both sides are going to be just as important.
I think anecdotally, a lot of people probably already use ChatGPT and others,
Absolutely,
Claude,
yes.
for medical advice. I want to ask you, Mustafa, about that question of cost. And we've talked about tokens, and Uber, for example, today said that they were sort of cutting off Claude Code because it's getting so expensive. How are you balancing that at Microsoft when the cost of building on AI is so expensive? How do you manage it?
Well, I think the other way of seeing that is that usage has gone through the roof, and that's why, the demand is what's causing a constraint on supply. We're actually very proud to be the largest buyer of NVIDIA GB200s and 300s in the world. So we have an incredible capacity pool, and we know that, when we do get product market fit inside of the Mayo Clinic and many of the other hospitals, demand is going to go through the roof again. And so we're really expecting a moment where this becomes the number one place that you get access to health information.
That is pretty interesting. What do you think about AI? So for a general question, what do you think about AI in healthcare? Right. We're going to see a little bit more details. Oh, this flashlight model is really, really fast. How accurate is it? I don't know, but it's pretty fast. But what do you think about AI in the whole healthcare space? Because a lot of people, they are terrified of AI. They don't like AI. They think it's unethical. All these little different issues that people have with AI, although it is making us a lot more productive, to say the least. People are saying, we're not seeing returns on it yet. Okay, fine. But I'll tell you this, it has made me so much more productive. I don't know how the returns are being measured. That is a good question. How are returns on AI being measured? Because people keep saying, we're not seeing the returns on AI, but I'm not sure what the measurement would be. But I know that my output has been so much more, and my terminal usage, the amount of terminal windows that I have open, if anything, that is a return already, because I have so many terminals open, and I'm always like scrolling through. I need a terminal that has a search feature in it so I can search for the terminal I'm looking for. But neither here nor there. So my question was, Microsoft is partnering with Mayo Clinic. How does that affect HIPAA? So the partnership between Microsoft and the Mayo Clinic to develop a frontier healthcare AI model is built on strict data privacy principles designed to align with HIPAA regulations. Because this project involves sensitive health data, the organization has emphasized a privacy by design approach. Here is how the partnership manages HIPAA compliance and data security. Use de-identified data. So it's like they're taking the data, but they're removing identifiers and names from it. So a core pillar of the partnership is to use de-identified clinical health data. Under HIPAA, once protected health information, Pichai, is properly de-identified, meaning it has been stripped of the 18 specific identifiers defined by the HIPAA privacy rule. It is no longer considered Pichai. This allows basically like stripping out whatever identifies a patient, So this allows the Mayo Clinic to share longitudinal insights with Microsoft for training and research purposes without violating patient privacy. Strategic ownership and control. The Mayo Clinic retains ownership of the frontier AI model. By maintaining ownership, the health system ensures that it controls the model's development, clinical validation, and deployment. So basically, the data belongs to the model, and the data belongs to the Mayo Clinic. So that's why it's not, even if they had like those 18 data points in there, because that it belongs to Mayo Clinic, it's still training on their own data, and it's within their own parameters. So that makes sense. This structure reinforces the covered entity oversight. The Mayo Clinic, as a healthcare provider, remains responsible for ensuring the AI's use complies with its own HIPAA obligations and patient trust standards. Safe deployment in secure environments. The model is not being released into the public wild. It will first be deployed and validated within the Mayo Clinic's secure clinical environment. This allows for real-world testing, refining the model using actual clinical workflows while keeping the data within the health system's secure infrastructure. Human oversight, ensuring that clinical reasoning is supported by AI rather than replaced, which is a key component of mitigating risk associated with high-risk AI in healthcare. And shared responsibility for security. When the healthcare provider, a HIPAA-covered entity, partners with a technology company like Microsoft, they typically enter a business associate agreement. The BA, this is the legally mandated contract that dictates how the business associates Microsoft must protect the data they receive or create on behalf of the covered entity. It ensures that Microsoft maintains the same standards for administrative, physical, and technical safeguards as the Mayo Clinic itself. Azure. So now we're getting into some infrastructure. Azure infrastructure. Since Microsoft provides the compute and deployment through Azure, they must comply with HIPAA technology requirements such as encryption at rest and in transit, audit logging, and access controls. And I'll tell you this, Microsoft and Azure, they probably already have that in place because I'm sure tons of hospitals and healthcare systems use Microsoft Azure for their infrastructure. So they probably already have that in place. So that's like just a formality to support Mayo Clinic's compliance efforts. And even Mayo Clinic probably already uses Microsoft Azure, so it's not a big deal. Alignment with broader AI frameworks. The partnership is also positioning itself to meet emerging high-risk AI standards, such as those discussed in the EU, the European Union AI Act. These frameworks require risk assessments, regular audits to identify vulnerabilities, transparency, clearly documenting how the AI makes decisions, data quality, ensuring that training sets are robust and representative to avoid bias. So in short, the partnership relies on a combination of data de-identification to remove it from the scope of the PHI where possible, and business associate agreements to legally bind the technology partner to stringent security protocols. So that is how they get around the whole HIPAA thing. That's how they get around the HIPAA. And that's how they're able to partner. So that's how Microsoft is able to partner with Mayo Clinic. But that begs the question: how do you feel about AI being integrated into the healthcare system so that allegedly doctors and nurses and patients and whatever, they can get more accurate information, more data, being trained on a swath of data, quickly accessible through the AI agent. And the other thing, here's the other question. Based on what we've done on this channel with testing AI, setting up the RAG, all of that, how do you think that the infrastructure, the technology is going to work between the healthcare model that Microsoft is building out for Mayo Clinic? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live and drop new content. As well, go to techcoachralph.dev. Join us for our very, very fun, enlightening, entertaining, and educational vibe code and chill sessions. Join us for our Scrum nights where you see what the Tech Barbarians are working on. Get access to Resume Flow, Tech Barbarians coaching portal, and the Speak Precisely app over at techcoachralph.dev. All right, let me go and let's go and check the chat to see what's going on, and then we're going to get into a little bit of work. Let me see. Junior called Rod Brown the magician, and just like in Talladega Nights, now you see me, now you don't. All right, let's go ahead and, all right, so here is the thing, right? So I'm gonna sound like Junior, right? Because like when Junior first told me about the photography app, he was like, "I built an app." I'm like, "You did?" And he was like, "Yeah, I built a photography app." And he started showing me, I'm like, "Oh wow, this is absolutely amazing." So I built I might have mentioned this, but I built a app on Lovable I had some tokens, I had some credits to spare, and I built an app for jiu-jitsu, and I've been building on it and stuff like that. But one of the complications that I've had, not with the app, but just with training jiu-jitsu, is after switching gyms and after starting, because me, Justin, Henry, now we used to train almost every single day, sometimes multiple times a day. I used to wake up at I used to go to class at 6:30 in the morning to train jiu-jitsu, and that wasn't, I stopped that last year, right? So we ended up training less, and then with Justin, he got a new work schedule, and he can barely train. He's like training once a week, right? So what I ended up doing was I built the app to track training information, stuff like that. But then I was like, you know what? We can help each other. So now we're training on my patio like 3 times a week. And what happened on Sunday, by using the app, right? Not by using the app, by us training, I used the app to track stuff, and I was able to see a lot of deficiencies in the app, and I was able to start enhancing it. So and which I think probably caused my other camera to stop working right. But I was recording the session. I'm like, you know what? I can probably have some content for the jiu-jitsu channel by, let me see if I have this over here. Give me a second. See if I can show you guys a little preview. Let me see what we got over here. Let me see what we got. Slow to load. But okay, there we go. Let me see what we got in here. This was yesterday, June 14th. Let me see what this is. That's not that one. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh, that camera angle is like bad. But I'll show you a little bit, right? Because I haven't watched it, but I'll have to fix the camera angle. But so this is us training on the patio. So I'm like, okay, so I have this content, right? And I can review it and give some insight on how we're training, how we're drilling. So have an app for it, have the content to talk about, and I can like do some voiceover and talk about like what we're doing, how we're trying to better ourselves. And so it's like so many different wins all in one shot. So I am thinking about that. I am contemplating that. I'm trying to figure that out, but I'm excited that I am able to train more, able to build this app out, which I'm probably going to be showcasing maybe on that channel, all this cool stuff, right? Anyways, let me go ahead and let me check the chat before we actually get into work. Let me see. Robert says, using AI in healthcare would require a blackout plan just in case hacking or emergencies. What can you like elaborate on what you mean by a blackout plan? I don't know. Like, is that a way to like shut it down quickly, like a kill switch? What do you mean by a blackout plan in particular? I'm just curious. So anyhow, let's go ahead. Let me close this out. But I'm gonna make some content on this because in that video we were training. We were training. The Japanese word is tominagi, which is basically a balloon sweep, right? That's what we call it in jiu-jitsu. But so I have so much stuff to train on, and we're just making, as you know, always says, iron sharpens iron. We are helping each other get better in all aspects of life, whether it's tech, whether I told Justin too about cursor, and he was using it the other day. He's like, oh my God, this is crazy. Should have been doing this like 2 years ago, but that's a whole other story. But so many things that we can work on, whether it's helping each other in tech, helping each other in health, and whatever it is. That is our goal here on this channel. to just be great, to go out there and dominate. We just want to dominate. All right. So, all right, let's get to work. Let's get to work. Let me see. All right. So Rod Brown said, Junior says, I think he means blackout names and information for patients. Okay, gotcha. Let me see. Rod Brown says, not a kill switch, but when the AI or systems are not working, you have to have a backup plan when system fails, communications protocols, information, etc. No, Rod Brown. No. If Copilot goes down, or if Claude or Anthropic goes down, then nothing. Nope, can't work. No surgeries. No looking up patient information. No prescriptions. Nothing. If it goes down, nothing. All right, because I know at work now, when Anthropic goes down, when they start giving us 500 errors, it's like, well, pack it up, because we are not going back to the old days. We are not going back to the old days. I am not going to write my own code anymore. Right? I refuse.
How dare you?
It's because the more you rely on AI and systems for healthcare, the more you are one hacker away from locking down your entire network. That's a fair point. That is a fair point. But Rod Brown, just use Mythos. All right, just use Mythos. That's all. Plus, you have to protect your Pichai. So, and what we had read is that they are going to be getting rid of the HIPAA-related information, so that it's like not identifiable. You can't identify it to any particular patient. So we'll see. We shall see. But yeah, you are totally right, though. Putting all funding games aside, you are totally right. They do need to make a way that they don't become overly reliant on AI, or at least on one particular model and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely, you are totally right about that. All right. Okay. Let's go ahead and let me find my Jira. Let me move this Jira over here, actually. And all right, cool. So let's go ahead and put this up. So we're going to be working on, we're going to be looking at some Jira stories, working on our backlog. So let me see, what do I have? All right, so let me go ahead and switch over to here, put up our 20 minutes.
It's time to do.
So what do we have for this sprint with the Tech Barbarians? So we had a setup Stripe for production, keeping preview, test Stripe. So this was for the Tech Barbarians coaching portal, as you see, TBC. And one of the stories were we set it up in production and to test it. So let me see. And there was a story assigned to me. I'm going to find it. So all these are done. This is in progress. You should be moving it over here. And there was a story added about, or a defect added about something's not working. So I'm going to check that. What else do we have so this one is I'm not working on that one. Let me see the ones that I'm working on. Let's see. Capture not in localhost. That's supposed to be tested. I think this was done being tested, actually. Let me see. Yep. So this one is done. And then I have all these other stories to work on. So resume flow stuff, dark mode stuff. Someone's creating a marketing campaign. And then I do want to update the OpenAI model. And subscription created. Okay, so, and this was a defect right here. So cool. All right. So we have some stuff to work on. Let me go ahead and let's start off with this one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull up Lovable. Give me a second to pull up Lovable. So this one is going to go through Lovable. And let's go here. So, whether a company is using Lovable or whether a company is using, what do you call it? Whether they're using, however they want to work at the end of the day, right? It's really up to them. But the principles of technology stay the same. So let me find. Okay, so let's go over here. And what I'm just going to do, I am going to copy the details of this story and paste it. So basically, so what is the story? So it says, when a user enters a credit card with mismatched postal code, Stripe should decline the payment method. Instead, the subscription is created successfully because the Stripe radar is not configured to block postal code verification failures. And then the preconditions, user is on the checkout page in preview environment, not previously subscribed. Credit card information to get that error, steps to reproduce, all of that. And it says payment is declined, error message, so the expected results is your card's zip code is incorrect. User remains on the checkout page. The subscription is created. So is this happening on the Stripe side or instead of the Stripe? All right. So actually, so I'm going to copy this, right? Before we even use Lovable, because this might be a Stripe side issue. I'm going to say I am working on, you know what? I wonder if, let me see something. Let me see, because are you able to connect Gemini to Jira? Just curious. Because with some applications, you're able to connect the two. You can connect Gemini, but the method depends on whether you're using the consumer version of Gemini, or the enterprise. Gotcha. So I don't think I'm using enterprise in this case. Managed through Google Cloud Console under Gemini Enterprise. We're not using that. So, all right, whatever. Let's just go back. I'm working on a defect reported on the Tech Barbarian coaching portal. About Stripe zip code validation. Here is the defect report. I want to know if that is a Stripe configuration or a application issue. So the reason that I put it in Gemini first is because Gemini is a lot cheaper to use than to use Lovable. Excuse me. So I want to put it here first to see what's going to happen, and then we can go into Lovable if necessary. So fundamentally, Stripe configuration issue, though it's manifests as an application failure because the application is not handling the Stripe signal is returning, or because Stripe account settings are too permissive. When you integrate Stripe, you have two layers of control over credit card verification, CVC, and postal code zip. If the subscriptions are being created despite a zip code mismatch, it means your current integration setup is not enforcing the validation as a hard stop. Where it breaks down, there are two likely culprits: Stripe dashboard configuration, the rules layer. Stripe Radar has specific rules regarding the advanced fraud detection. If your account settings are configured to allow or review instead of block, when a postal code check fails, the API will successfully create the payment method subscription and transactions will proceed. To fix this, we're going to go to Stripe dashboard settings. So Stripe dashboard settings, radar rules, check for rules regarding zip check. If you don't have any rule explicitly saying block if zip check equals fail, Stripe will permit the charge. API response handling. Even if Stripe's backend allows a transaction, the Stripe API response will still contain the validation results in the card object payment method. The workflow: when you call Stripe payment method create or process a subscription, the response includes a check objects. The issue: your application code is likely checking if the API call succeeded. I did not throw a 500 error, but is failing to inspect the zip check attribute inside the response. If the code ignores the zip check status, it proceeds to create the subscription in your database regardless of the failure signal from Stripe. Recommended remediations: configure Radar, update your Stripe dashboard rules to block payments where the zip check is fail. This is the safest and most robust approach. Explicit validation in your backend code where you process the payment method creation, add an explicit check for the checks.zip check field. If it equals fail, you must stop the process and return the user facing your zip code. All right, cool. Let me go and let's try the Stripe side first. You get to Stripe and then I will share. Logging in. Let me see. What? What? Oops. Where's my phone? Oh, it's in my pocket. All right, you're sending me a code. Let's see what's going on here. Continue. What? Getting issues here. What's going on, Stripe? Why can I not log in? I gotta wait some time. I don't know what's going on here. Why can't I log into Stripe? Let me see. Resend. Uh-oh. Something's not right. All right, let me try something else. And let's go here. Okay. Let's go. All right, we are in. And let me switch over to, then I'm going to share the Stripe screen. Let's go to sandbox mode. Where's sandbox? Switch to sandbox. All right, so let's go ahead and share this. So we're in Stripe, and Gemini said to go to dashboard settings radar. Where are settings? Settings. Radar. Where's radar? Radar. And then use radar on payment methods saved for future use. This will apply radar rules for card payments methods created using the setup intent API. You'll be charged per setup intent confirmation attempt, including setup intents generated by subscriptions created with non-payment invoices. What? What is this? All right, hold up. So radar, and then where's rules? Rules history. I have to turn this on first. All right, so I'm gonna copy this. This is what I see when I go to radar. Let's figure out this Stripe stuff, because Stripe is not an easy thing. That confirmed that your Stripe radar is not currently set up for automatically block these failures. The view you are seeing is a radar settings dashboard. By default, Stripe does not automatically block transactions based on AVS failures, such as an incorrect address, incorrect zip code. Stripe leaves that decision to the issuing bank, which may authorize a charge anyways, and to your business logic via radar rules. Oh, interesting. That's interesting. So the question is all right, so It looks like Stripe charges for this radar service. Is it best to just leave it off and have the banks handle it? You should not rely on the banks to handle this. Okay, well, if you leave this off, you are essentially outsourcing your fraud prevention to the issuing bank, which has no incentive to protect your business. Banks are often very permissive because their primary goal is to ensure the transaction goes through so they can collect their interchange fees. If the banks approve a fraudulent charge, even with a mismatched zip code, you are the one who will bear the cost when the dispute chargeback eventually arrives. Okay, fair enough. Here's a breakdown of why leaving it to the banks is risky and Stripe costs are worth considering. Why letting the bank decide a business risk, approval. Yeah, all right. Fair enough. Is the Stripe radar really extra cost? Here's a common misconception about radar pricing. Free radar. For most standard Stripe accounts, the core fraud protection, including basic radar rules, is included at no extra cost. So 2.9 plus 30% processing or 30-cent processing fee covers these standard features. Radar for fraud teams. Okay, you got me. All right, cool. Let's turn it on then. You don't need to necessarily pay for the radar for fraud teams to fix the specific issue. Check your dashboard setting. All right, cool. Makes sense. Makes sense to me. Let's turn it on. Turn it on. Oh, that was easy. That was easy. All right. Now what? Now that it's on, now what do we do? It's on. So I turned it on and now I have this. What do I do at this point? The message is standard Stripe notification. To clarify, you do not need to pay for the, okay, I did that. Here is the exact what you should do. Understand the charge warning. When you toggle this setting, you enable the radar's fraud evaluation for the setup intents API, which is what your subscription flow likely uses to save the card for future use. The cost, if your Stripe account is on standard pricing, the core fraud screening is waived. You only pay per transaction if the fee if you are using specific advanced features. All right, the better path handling your code. Since you are the one building the Tech Barbarians coaching portal, you have full control over the payment object that comes back from Stripe. You do not need to rely on Stripe to block the transaction. You just need to ignore the results of a bad one. Here's the logic you should implement in your back end. Process the payment, attempt the subscription creation, inspect the response, check for failure. All right. Where did that 4 come from? Oh, okay. Can you give me the lovable prompt to have it fix in the code? So now that I'm asking for the prompt, I'm going to bump it up to 3.5. which we're going to be covering in tomorrow's video on how to use Gemini efficiently so that you don't burn through all your quota. This is a senior engineer move. Handling the validation server-side is more robust. Since you're using Lovable, you need to guide the AI to specific server-side routes that handle your checkout subscription creation. Lovable prompt. I need to fix a critical prompt in the subscription checkout flow where Stripe zip code AVS verification failures are being ignored. Please update the backend logic responsible for processing the payment subscription, likely in, I don't know. I'm just going to say that. Retrieve, because Lovable should know. Retrieve payment method details before finalizing. Implement validation checks. Add condition logic. Your credit card zip code isn't correct. Pass through logic. QA strategy for fix. All right, cool. So let's go and do. Let's copy this. Go to Lovable. Paste that and send it off. What happened to what I sent? There we go. So now it's fixing. Or it's researching first. It's reading the files, then it's going to fix. Let's see. All right. Let's see what they said. Level says, I want to flag something before making this change. Your checkout flow uses Stripe checkout hosted via Stripe checkout session create, not a direct payment payment method flow. That's important implications for what you're asking. No payment ID exists at checkout session creation time. The card is collected later on Stripe's hosted page. Create checkout session runs before the user has even entered the card. So there's nothing to retrieve with Stripe payment method retrieve. By the time the payment exists, the subscription is already created. Stripe checkout in mode subscription creates the customer subscription plus payment method automatically on their side. Then fires your okay. So now we're your Stripe webhook handler is what writes to your database. There is no pre-write hook where you can block a card checked zip check. Normally can't reach you anyways. Stripe's checkout with radar default blocks if zip fails, rule enabled. Rejects the payment on the hosted page itself and never creates the subscription. The user never checks, the user never leaves checkout. Your webhook never fires, nothing. Oh, okay. The right fix would be rules enable. This blocks at the source. Defensive check in webhook. So if we go to, I don't see what I'm supposed to set up. Where are the rules? Is there documentation? All right, we will dig into this a little bit later because I don't see what Lovable is suggesting us to do. We'll dig into that once we get back from break, and we'll go from there. But let's go ahead and go to break. Let me see. All right. So next up, we're going to be diving into how Mickey D's, yes, good old McDonald's, how they are implementing AI in their drive-thrus. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into that one.
Yeah, I'd like to place an order.
This morning, the days of ordering from a real-life person in the drive-thru lane
Where's your manager? Look, I am the manager.
could soon be in the rearview mirror, all thanks to AI.
McDonald's is using AI to run their drive-thrus?
McDonald's revealing it's testing Arch IQ, a Google-powered AI ordering system at 5 of its U.S. drive-thru locations.
Welcome back, David.
A McDonald's franchise owner sharing this video of the technology on display last week at the company's worldwide conference.
Can I have the Huntrix meal? Was that with hunter sauce and demon sauce? Yes.
The chatbot nicknamed Arch.
Did you say demon sauce? Wait, what? I heard. All right. Did the AI say demon sauce?
Week at the company's worldwide conference.
Can I have the Huntrix meal? Was that with hunter sauce and demon sauce? Yes.
Oh, I think that they are okay. I got it now. They're playing off. What is that? K-drama. They had a big movie about it. The kids love that song. Something Demon Hunter. Anyways, whatever. But that's what they're okay. Got it.
The chatbot nicknamed Archie, taking orders in English and Spanish. ¿Qué te gustaría ordenar? McDonald's CEO saying it's 90% accurate, and writing in a memo, the Golden Arches is launching a new strategy as more of the customer journey becomes automated.
Is 90% accurate more accurate than the human drive-through tellers? Which one is more accurate? And how do you feel about this? Do you mind, as a fast food consumer, do you mind placing your order to AI? I mean, they already have the kiosks, right? How do you feel having a conversation with AI placing your order? Now, I will say, the AI is very nice, and it's not gonna say, "What do you want?" It's not gonna be rude to you. Like, just take your food and go. It's not gonna be rude to you. But I mean, what do you like? How do you feel about that? Placing your ordering your Big Mac, your quarter pounder with cheese, has to have the cheese, to an AI bot, to Archie. What are your thoughts on that?
You are literally automating a task that was taken by a person. The stated goal that companies use when they use this is to free up an employee's time to do something else.
Where did the butter come from? McDonald's shelved a previous test of automated drive-thrus in 2024 after videos of incorrect orders went viral.
9 sweet teas. 9! I did not ask for this.
Taco Bell and Wendy's now also launching their own automated drive-thru systems as fast food companies double down on AI.
You can imagine a future where no orders at McDonald's are actually taken by a human being.
Elizabeth Schulze, ABC News.
Yeah, I'd like to place an order.
Well. You minimum wage advocates said that a teller someone who is taking your order at the drive-thru should be paid $30 an hour. Give them a livable wage. Give them a livable wage. Well, they told you a long time ago. They said, okay, cool. You know what? Fine. You said, oh, and if anyone who works over 29 hours a week, they must have health care. You have to give them health care because the Affordable Care Act, it's going to protect every single person, yada, yada, yada. So what did these companies do? I said, oh yeah, also, if you have less than 49 employees, then you get exempt. But if you have 50, then you must provide health care for all of your employees. Right? So they said, okay, cool. You want to make us look like Ilya Topuria. Shout out to UFC 250, where he got beat down by Justin Gaethje. But they said, okay, cool. You guys got the first 2 rounds, right? You guys won the battle, but guess what? The war is not over. The war is not over. So you wanted to hit us with all these regulations. You wanted to hit us with, and this is what these companies are silently saying. They're like, oh yeah, because it's gonna free up people. Yeah, free up people to go home and do nothing. Now, when you were making like your $7, $8, $9, $10 an hour with the ability to still go to school, get an education, go and get a job that would sustain you, you're like, no, I want to stay the man. I want to stay the burger flipper at McDonald's, and I have to be paid a livable wage so that I can be making like $30 an hour. I said, okay, so you want healthcare. You want to work full time. You want to be paid $30 an hour, and we have to deal with all these regulations. Okay, cool. Bet. It's all right. Cool. Bet. Well. Hold my AI beer, because we're just going to get AI to do your job for you, to do your task for you. It's not even a job, to do your task for you. And you know who's going to get paid $30, $40 an hour? It is going to be who's going to get paid $30, $40 an hour. It is going to be the person who is maintaining and testing and configuring the AI. So the work that we're doing here, on a smaller scale, it's going to be people that are, it's going to be the Tech Barbarians taking those jobs, managing the AI, testing the AI to make sure that the drive-thru is working properly. And there's going to be like 1-2 people manning everything to, like, if for some reason the AI, and guess what? The AI can take multiple orders at the same time. It's going to be a totally different experience. It's going to be a totally different, and that's because you did it to yourself. You whined, you complained, you moaned, you said, no, I need a livable wage working at a fast food job. I take orders. They said, okay, cool, bet. Let's put in the kiosks where the customer, and guess what? The customer doesn't even need to know how to read a menu. They don't even know a customer doesn't even need to know how to read. All they have to do is like click some pictures. Oh, what do you want? What do you want on your Big Mac? Well, I want this bread. I want the three, like the double Big Mac. Oh, no lettuce. I click on the picture of lettuce and it puts an X on the lettuce. Do you want fries? Do you want a supersize? Oh, there's a bigger picture of the fries. Let me click on that. So now the kiosk is upselling. Every task-based role, you're out of there. That's how the game goes. You did it to yourself. You did it to yourself. Instead of leveling up, you wanted them to just pay you more for a task. And it's all right, cool, bet. Now, the ones who do have a job, well, it might be different now because I don't know what state the ACA is in, but the ones who want to work full time, they can't because these companies can't pay their health care. And so the companies are going to do what's in their best interest. They don't have to worry about the kiosks showing up late to work. They don't have to worry about the AI drive-thru teller showing up late, calling in the last minute saying, oh, I can't make it because whatever reason. Lying about why they can't come to work because they want to go party. Inconsistency. See, and here's like going back to the Jiu-Jitsu app that I'm working on, and training to see, like, by actually training jiu-jitsu to see what improvements I can make to it. So whenever you give somebody a problem, an inconvenience or whatever, they're going to find a solution. So by staffing issues, people being unreliable, people being inconsistent, you are the reason for AI. It forced people and companies to go and build these tools, these autonomous agents, because we as humans were inconsistent, can't keep our word. And now AI is like, well, I got this. Sit down. I got this. Now you can't even make $10 an hour because they have AI tellers. What type of job is it there to free up at McDonald's? Like, they are just fed up. These companies are fed up. The same way these graduates could walk out on Sundar Pichai's commencement speech. Companies are fed up with you. They're annoyed with you because of your attitude. Like, we're doing you a favor by giving you a job here to help you grow, to help you with your tuition and stuff like that. And you just want to complain about it. So it's on you. It is on you. Anyways, what do you think about this? Am I off? Am I off on this? Is McDonald's wrong for implementing these the AI drive-thru tellers? Should they continue to pay their drive-thru tellers whatever, $15 to $30 an hour, depending on what state you live in? I mean, they granted it a few years ago. Like, all right, cool. Now you're replaced. You're out of there. You are out of there. Let me know your thoughts below. Drop me a comment. Do me a favor on your way out. Like, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live and drop new content. As well, go to techcoach.dev. Join us to continue these conversations at our Vibe Code and Chills. Join us for our Scrum Nights with the Tech Barbarians. Get access to Resume Flow. Get access to the Tech Barbarians coaching portal. Get access to the Speak Precisely app over at techcoachralph.dev. All right. Let's go back to here, and we're going to jump into one more working segment. Before we do that, let me go over here first. I'm going to check the chat real quick. Here says, y'all enjoy the rest of the show. Bible study time. Shout out to my guy, Junior. And Junior hit us with a parting shot on his way out. Says, these people are definitely lazy and pathetic though, but that's none of my business. What? Junior?
How dare you?
And
how dare we speak Merry Christmas?
That was harsh. You know, on behalf of Junior, I would like to say that I totally agree with him. You guys are lazy and pathetic, and the truth is not in you. All right, stop being lazy and pathetic, or don't, and have AI take the rest of your jobs. That's the cold hard truth. Okay. Don't be mad, pumpkin. Don't be mad, pumpkin. All right. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump into another working segment. Let's go ahead and put up another 20 minutes on the clock.
Let's go! Let's go!
Okay. Let me put up this last one real quick. Cool. All right, so Lovable basically said that the right fix. All right, so we wanted to do this. We wanted to do the A option, right? The right fix depends on what you actually want. So I'm gonna say. Because there's nothing else on this page, so I'm gonna say. I just said do it here on the radar page in Stripe. I don't see where to set up the rules. All I see is this. Let's see if Lovable was able to give us any insight additional than what Gemini is giving us. Started off the same. You're looking at radar settings. The rule editor lives in a different section. Ah, gotcha. So let's just go straight to here. Open this first, make sure nothing weird shows up. Okay, gotcha. Okay, cool. So let's go to, how did we get here? So it says left sidebar. I don't see that. I don't see radar. I don't see that. Anyways, whatever. I'll just go directly to here. And Stripe, or not Stripe, but and it said we should if you don't see rules, it's likely one of these. You're in a standard radar account, not a radar for fraud. Custom rules include zip check and CVC check. Require fraud, radar for standard radar only gives you Stripe's built-in ML rule with no editor. You're in the connect platform view rather than the account that processes the payment. Switch account. If you don't want to pay for the cheaper alternative is option B. Enforce the zip check in your webhook handler code. Want me to implement that now? On checkout, session complete. If card checks zips equals fail, cancel the subscription, refund. Oh, that's another option as well. Let me see. All right. So if we take a look at CVC verification failed based on risk score. If postal code verification failed, I should be able to just enable this. So what if we just say, so should we just enable this rule? I'm gonna put it, I don't want to waste, let me see. Cards I have left for today. What? All right, so I'm in the rules setting. Now, should I just enable this? Move it back to 3.1. Let's see what we get here. Yes, you should enable that. Okay. Why risk-based score is superior to a hard block. If you were to create a hard block, all right, so okay, so if you were to create a hard block, address zip check fail equals fail, you would inadvertently block legitimate users who might have a typo or are traveling or have an address mismatch that the bank considers perfectly safe. By selecting block if postal code verification based on risk score, you are leveraging Stripe's machine learning. Safety net. If the zip code is wrong, but the transaction looks 100% normal, same IP, same device, common browser, no history of fraud, Stripe will let it pass. This prevents you from losing a customer over a minor error. The guardrail, if the zip code is wrong and the transaction looks suspicious, new device, weird location, high risk email, known burner card, Stripe will block it. Why this is the senior engineer approach: reduce false positives. You won't get support tickets from students complaining that they can't pay because their bank has a slightly different zip code on file than what it's entered. Automated fraud protection handles the heavy lifting of fraud detection. Low cost is mentioned for, sorry, got that. I think they should do it. So let's go ahead and enable this one. Let's enable that. Why is our frame rate slowing down? Don't be weird. So we got that enabled. Enable this. All right, so we have. Why is our frame rate tripping? I'm gonna copy this whole thing. Any other of these worth enabling? Wait, what? Okay. Let's do that. You are in a great position. You don't need to turn everything on. Doing so often causes unnecessary friction. The must considerable block if CVC verification fails based on risk score. Recommended to enable. CVC is a strong signal that the user has a physical card. If a student gets the CVC wrong and their transaction looks suspicious, you absolutely want to block that. It acts as a perfect companion to your postal code rule. Risk level elevated, recommended to enable. This is the middle ground. Instead of blocking, it puts It puts the transaction into a review queue in your Stripe dashboard. If this is safer than line block, you can manually look at the transaction, decide if it's a legitimate student or a bad actor. Proceed with caution rules. Request 3DS if 3D secure is supported. Be careful. Yeah, I don't want to authenticate. That's annoying. That's like when you're using like a Discover card. It says, oh, or a Bank of America. Oh, log in with your bank to do this, and then I'm like, oh, that's annoying. I hate doing that. So it says postal code risk keep enabled, CVC score enabled. So we're gonna do this one by one. CVC score enable. And this one was also enable. So we got leave 3DS disabled. Since you're a developer, QA, you can test the review rule. If you find a way to trigger the elevated risk, Stripe sometimes does this if you have certain test data or rapid test transaction in the same environment. All right, let's go ahead and see if we can try this out. We're gonna go to here. So we can do. Let me sign out. Let's say sign up. Full name, TCR, stream testing, and we will do TB Tech Barbarians coaching portal. And then we're gonna say what is 2026 0616 at techcoach.dev. Password. Okay, create. All right. So we have here, welcome to your journey. Huh. We have like 2 pop-ups. That doesn't seem like a good user experience. So welcome to your journey. Let's customize. So let me say. Okay, the second one is about releases. I'll take a screenshot of this anyways. Send that in our Slack channel. All right. All right. So let's say we do continue weight loss, career, primary focus. Let's say self-improvement, right? And then we go here, weight loss, build discipline, career growth. Why is this twice? Let me see. Why am I finding this? I should be the one finding these. Thoughts on weight loss and fitness showing up twice. Let's go here. And then we do continue. Let's say say continue analyzing. I'm on my own. And so this should be so that right here. So what I'm doing right now, I'm just taking screenshots and sending it to and putting it in the Slack so the Tech Barbarians can actually like, oh, how come we didn't catch all of these issues? And they can fix that, and then they can create defects so they can fix that. Should the description render the markdown code? So this right here is markdown code, and it should show up as bold, but I mean, when signing up, like, why wouldn't you see that? Like, this doesn't, like, why are there these asterisks here? Like, how is it supposed to, like, that should be definitely a question for a QA person to ask, though. QA person, business analyst, whoever should be asking these type of questions. Like, why does this look like this, right? So, passing those along. And we say continue. You're all set. You've selected all 14. Oh, okay, whatever. Let's continue. Start journey. And then, did this show up for the first time someone has signed in? Should this show up for a brand new user? So I'm asking if like the what's new should show up to brand new users. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think like if someone is a brand new user, this should show up for them? All right. So we got here, and let me say I want to do create your first goal. Really cool goal. Well, that's a daily goal. Where do that's for daily. Add goal. That's kind of like confusing, right? I guess this could say create your first daily goal. That's a little confusing, but we'll take care of that later. So let's go here, and I want to get better at jiu-jitsu so I can compete in a few months. Let's go with that. Generate goal. Let's see what this says. Train rules in jiu-jitsu at least 4 times per week and participate in 1 official local competition within the next 6 months, aiming to complete all scheduled matches and achieve at least 1 win. Let's say this one's health and fitness. Okay, 6 months, not bad. See here, the target date when creating so what's going to happen is like when we go here, it's going to let's go here, and when creating a long-term goal, the target date defaults to December 5th, 2024 until clicking on it. Shouldn't it show the date from the shouldn't show the time horizon date from the current date? So basically so it should show you like December 16th, 2026 over here. When I click it, it's going to default to that, right? Then I have to click on that, but it should do it automatically. All right, but whatever. Let's go to here. Milestones. Train 4 times a week for 1 month. 2 months. What just happened here? Okay. Let's say another milestone is lose 10 pounds in month 1. Lose another 10 lbs in month 2. Train outdoors to build more cardio. All right, so there goes so now, oh, you do all that work. You do all that work, and now you say, uh-oh.
Lunch break.
Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Let's go ahead and finish this, and then we'll go to our last break, and then we'll wrap up the show. We're gonna say, so now, because this is what we wanted to test, right? So let's say start the trial. We get taken to Stripe, and we are going to use the details that were provided to us so that we could fake so we could simulate the error, right? So this is the credit card number. We're gonna go to here, put in the credit card number, and then the 1234. CVC 123. Name. Oops. TCR testing. Zip code that we should be using is this one. And phone number is this one. Not gonna save the information. I guess it doesn't matter. And then if we do start trial, your credit card was declined. But why though? It doesn't give the error message that we expected. We are in the test environment. Let's take a look at Stripe real quick to see what caused the blockage. Just refresh this page maybe. I don't see what failed the. Let me see, blocks. That's from a long time. Review. All these are from a long time ago. Hold up. Something's not right. That's when the rule is created. All right, let's go and take a look at, let me go over here first. Give me a second. Let me take a look at something. Home. Let me see. I don't see the block. Where is the block? Reviews. I just don't see. I see the failure, but it doesn't tell me. It doesn't tell me why it failed. Let me see. Make sure I got everything right. Credit card number 1234 123. Could it be this? I don't think so. Oh, okay. Testing ones. I don't think that would be it. I mean, it fails. And it says your credit card was declined. Try paying with a debit card instead. And in the ticket, it said that I was going through, but it doesn't tell me what is wrong. Oh, there's a video too. Exactly what I have. Okay. Well, it's being blocked now, so I don't see it showing up anywhere though that would signify it not going through. Anyways, well, whatever. At least it's being blocked now. So what we can do is, let me see real quick. Whatever. Let's go ahead and say, so we'll wrap this one up then. We're gonna go to here. Because maybe that gets triggered. Maybe it's catching it for like fraud or something. I don't know. But if we were to do 4242424242424242, because that's how Stripe differentiates it. Like 424242 is going to be the test credit card number. That one's probably going to go through. Yep, it went through. So and then we have our goal created. Nice. So let's go ahead and go to, ooh, what just happened here? Cool. Oh crap, I need that one. Let me go to here and we're going to say, I enabled some rules at Stripe to be more alert. Here is what I got when using the test credit card you provided. Although, however, I didn't get that specific zip code error, but that would be on Stripe's end. All right, so we have that, and I'm gonna say save and give it back to Gabe and say in progress. And let me see if this is still here. Oh, it's not there anymore. See if I can get it from here. And I will say, I'm gonna take a screenshot of this to report to send over to them as well, because that should also be caught. Putting this in Slack when I tried to create a goal before having my account set up. I After signing up the account, I got an error that the goal couldn't be added. Can you test flow? Alrighty then. Let's go ahead and wrap that up. All right, cool. Well, there's that. There is that. But we fixed it. We did fix that one defect, so that should be good. Let me go and see if there's anything in the chat, and then we'll get into our last. All right, so we're gonna get into our last topic of today, which is nurses being replaced by humanoid robots. They said that healthcare is safe from AI, but first segment, Mayo Clinic and Microsoft in cahoots. Now, humanoid robots as nurses.
Well, we've got a story we want you to check out. A team of robot nurses are now working at a Texas hospital.
Yeah, that's right. This technology isn't necessarily designed to replace human nurses. Officials say they're there to allow the medical staff to spend more time with patients. Luke Johnson has more from Odessa.
Meet.
All right. That is creepy. If that's the noise that your nurse is going to be making, it's a little worrisome. Let's hear that again.
Officials say they're there to allow the medical staff to spend more time with patients. Luke Johnson has more from Odessa.
Meet Moxie, the 5-foot, 300-pound service robot that is now employed at Odessa Regional Medical Center. It transports things like medications and supplies throughout the entire hospital 24 hours a day.
We are super excited to have Moxie on site. She's been in the ER all day today helping run lab specimens. Everybody's really excited to have finally a go live date.
A total of 3 robots are a part of the ORMC team. They use locked drawers to securely transport items and scan QR codes around the hospital to navigate around. They are equipped with ORMC badges to get in and out of locked areas. The help massively reduces the steps taken by busy nurses.
The burden of walking across the hospital, the miles they put on, and that falling on them when in reality they should be focusing on patient care and impacting the community that they serve within the hospital. I think that's what's so great about Moxie.
There's been a lot of chatter about these AI-powered robots slimming the job market. ORMC nurses shot those rumors down.
Everybody's like, oh, they're going to take your jobs. They're not. They're a tool to make us better at our jobs so that we can.
Well, Mrs. Emergency Department said that she is a fan of Moxie. And when you give them a name, you just humanize them. So like McDonald's AI drive teller is called Archie. This is Moxie. They always in it with a oxy at the end, right? So Moxie is going to be transporting medication and stuff like that, supplies across the hospital. I wonder how fast they go. But it's just going to be wandering around, reading QR codes. If you're a patient at the hospital and you see Moxie just rolling through, does that freak you out? How would you feel as a patient at the hospital seeing Moxie just roaming around the hospital, the mean streets of the hospital?
Can spend more time with the patients.
The robots feature LED lights that shine when they interact with patients and staff. Developers with Diligent Robotics says the Hard Eyes has a competitive impact.
The Hard Eyes is always a hit. I think when people go by, I think that's one of the biggest things I always hear is nurses saying like, I got hard eyes, and someone else says, I didn't get hard eyes, and it's always a competition who has the better relationship with Moxie.
Oh.
Yeah, that's just weird. I'm sorry. I am sorry. Hard eyes are just weird. I am just saying.
I'm just being honest.
And then competing for hard eyes from a robot? Okay. Are you trying to get into a relationship with Moxie? Awkward?
I think they're the cutest thing ever. It just makes my day when they come down the halls and you see the heart eyes.
As the region grows, innovations like this are going to help hospitals operate more efficiently while meeting increasing patient demands.
What do you guys think about Moxie? You guys see Moxie? They just humanized the humanoid robots, calling it Moxie. And the nurses at Odessa, in Odessa, at the hospital over there, they say it is a godsend. But what do you say? Let's do a little bit more investigation on this with Gemini, right? So, I'm on a live stream. And we just reviewed Moxie, or is it Moxie? Or is it Moxie? The humanoid robots that Odessa hospital in Texas is using. The nurses seem to love Moxie, but is there a chance that these humanoid nurse robots take the jobs of the nurses, then turn against the patients, and take over the hospital and hold every health care administrator hostage? I'm sure there are some hackers who would be quite intrigued to pull this off. So I am worried, right? I think that's fair. Right? I mean, Rod Brown was talking about hackers earlier today, right? It's completely understandable to feel concerned about the intersection of robotics, AI, and healthcare security. When you see the new technology deployed in sensitive environments like hospitals, questions about job displacement and cybersecurity are natural. Here's a breakdown of the current reality regarding Moxie. Oh, it's Mox-E. No E at the end. It's just Mox-I. Maybe it's French. Maybe this nurse robot is French. It's not Moxie. It's because there's no E at the end. It's Moxai. Hey, what's your name? Moxai. Je m'appelle Moxai. That's how you say it in French. It says my name is Je m'appelle Moxai. Yeah, and you have to because I have and I can say this because I have French in my family and my wife speaks French, right? So I can say this about the French. When you speak French, right, certain words you have to put your head up and put your nose up, right? So je m'appelle Moxai. That's how you say it. It's not Moxie, right? See, you're right. It's Moxie with an I, not. So that's why I think it says je m'appelle Moxai. The nose goes up, because when you say the kind of a little snobbish, I'm not saying French people are snobbish. I'm just saying that's how you have to speak in certain words when you say je m'appelle Moxai. All right, all right. So that's French lesson 101. Okay, so maybe I'll cut this off from the video. Probably not, but maybe I should. But I won't. Anyways, I apologize. So, what is Moxai? You're right. It's Moxai, not Moxie. It's a 5 foot tall, 300-pound service. Trunk. It's kind of chunky, right? All right, that I'll definitely cut off from the live stream. But 5 feet, 300 pounds, gee whiz, that's big. I'm just saying, I am not in the business of shaming humanoid robots, but 5 foot, 300 pounds is kind of big. It's kind of big. I'm just saying, right? But anyhow. It's a 5 foot tall, 300-pound service robot designed by Diligent Robotics. It is not a nurse and does not perform clinical tasks like assessing patients, administering medication, or providing emotional care. Do nurses provide emotional care? I don't know. Its job, Pichai acts as a runner. Oh, it's a corner boy. Pichai is I suppose Pichai would be a girl. So it's a corner girl, like in The Wire. You know how what was the main drug dealer kid who lasted to like season 5 in The Wire? Oh, what is his name? You guys remember his name? Oh, what is his name? If you remember his name, let me know. But that guy who lasted in The Wire like forever, started off as a corner kid. I think he was with Michael B. Jordan there as well in the beginning, but he lasted to the end, all right, or almost the end. It says Pichai acts as a runner. It fetches the lab samples, delivers medications to secure drawers, and transports supplies like linens or PPE, personal protection equipment. The goal. The purpose is to reduce the busy work, walking miles of hallways every shift so nurses can stay at the bedside, which is the part of the job that actually requires human empathy and complex clinical decision-making. Now, the question is, do these nurses really want to be at the bedside? Because sometimes you'll press a button and you're waiting like an hour just to get the response. What do you want? So I don't know. I'm just kidding. To all my nurses out there, I'm just kidding. It's just a joke, just a little jokey joke, right? Can they take the job of nurses? The current consensus is in healthcare is that robots like Pichai cannot replace nurses. In fact, some hospitals that piloted Pichai have already discontinued the program because robots were at times more of a logistical hurdle than a help. Oh, that's
How dare you?
You can't talk about Pichai like that. That is so rude. My goodness. Oh, and it looks like it's from California as well. Oh, California. Oh. Is that even still a state? My goodness. The industry is currently facing a massive nursing shortage. The goal of automation in this context is to support current staff by handling logistics, not to reduce the headcount. As many nursing associations have noted, there is no substitute for the human connection, physical assessment, skills, and critical judgment a nurse provides. The security and takeover concern. Your worry about hackers is technically grounded, though the scenario of a robot holding the administrators hostage remains firmly in the realm of science fiction for now. What?
How dare we speak Merry Christmas?
It can happen. It can happen, okay? I mean, definitely not by a 300-pound, 5-foot humanoid robot named Pichai, but as technology enhances, you never know. You never know, right? System vulnerability. Robots are connected to the hospital Wi-Fi integrated into facility software. If a hospital's network is breached, which happens frequently via ransomware, see, there you go, an attacker could theoretically gain control of the connected devices. The reality of hostage scenarios. While a hacker might be able to stop a robot from moving or sending it to the wrong room, Pichai, essentially a mobile supply cart, it lacks the physical capability, weaponry, or decision-making autonomy to take over a facility or hold humans hostage. Well, that's good. That's good. True risks. The bigger danger to a hospital isn't a rogue robot, but rather a ransomware attack that locks electronic health records or manipulates medical data. But that has nothing to do with Pichai. That is where IT departments focus their efforts, securing the network to prevent the unauthorized access you mentioned. So in summary, you can breathe a little easier. Pichai is just a very expensive high-tech supply cart with hard eyes. It doesn't have the intelligence to decide to turn against its owners or the physical ability to perform an insurrection. Or not. The real focus for hospitals should remain on network security to ensure that all connected devices from infusion pumps to supply robots are protected against the very real threat of cyber criminals. It sounds like you have a great topic for your next stream. Does this help clarify the distinction between the sci-fi fear and the actual utility of these robots? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Let me know your thoughts though. Do you disagree with Gemini? Do you think my scenario, my quote unquote science fiction scenario of Pichai being hacked, getting all the nurses fired, getting hacked, taking over the hospital administrators for hostage, and it's called the Pichai insurrection? Let me know your thoughts. Drop me a comment below. Like, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live and drop new content. And we can discuss this more in depth over at our next Vibe Code and Chill, which we have every other Saturday over at Tech Barbarians Dev. Get access to Vibe Code and Chill. Get access to our Scrum Nights. Get access to Resume Flow, Tech Barbarians Coaching Portal, and the Speak Precisely app over at techcoachralph.dev. All right. So with that being said, that's going to wrap up our show for tonight. Let me check the chat real quick, and then we're going to get up and out of here. We have Bryson Pretty in the building. What up, Bryson? What's good? How do you do? Thank you so much. Says, do you have Microsoft Teams? I do not have Microsoft Teams. I am more of a Slack person or a Discord. So I use Slack at work, and I use Slack for my Tech Barbarians, those that I coach with one-on-one. And then for the Patreon over at Tech Dev, we use Discord. I have a Discord, the Tech Coach Ralph. I'm actually in the process of configuring it a little bit better, so I can let a little bit more people in there, but still have a separation of the top tier Tech Barbarians, Tech Mercenaries, the YouTube members, the Patreon members, and then I do want to give access to subscribers as well, so that we can be a little bit more collaborative, answer more questions, get some more topics, more notifications. So I am working on that. But to answer your question specifically, I do not have Microsoft Teams. Thank God, because I hate Microsoft Teams. I think it's the wannabe Slack. I'm just saying. But let me know. What do you want to know? What do you want to know? It says, oh God. You know what? Rod Brown, I rebuke, because you remember you were being so. How did Paul say it? You stiff-necked people, or no, or is that Stefan? I think it was Stefan. You stiff-necked people. You remember how you did not want it to get a real Mac, not your 20-year-old Mac. You did not want to get a real Mac, and you're like, oh no, I want my Windows, and then when you got that MacBook, you're like, oh my God, I can do so much work. Just saying. I am just saying. What is this? Rod Brown sent high five for 100 joules. I have no idea what this is, but shout out to my guy, Rod Brown. I have no idea what that means, but shout out to you. And that means I'm going to have to configure my stream elements to be able to show what these. Let me see if I can do that real quick. Let me see, because I am not familiar with this jewels thing. But thank you for the jewels. I appreciate it. Rod Brown, did you just buy me some jewelry? Rod? Shout out to my guy, Rod Brown. Buying me some jewelry. You are the man. Am I able to get? Let me see if I can. Let me see. I don't even know how to do this. I'm gonna mess with this. I'm gonna have to add this jewel stuff to my alerts, because my guy Rod Brown should get one of these.
I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Thanks. Anyways, thank you. I appreciate it. Rod Brown says, me neither. I just saw it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You are the gift that keeps on giving. But Bryson Pretty, leave me a comment since I'm about to end the live stream, and let me know why did you ask about Microsoft Teams? Because if you want to connect, there are plenty of ways to connect, and I would love to connect with you. And you can definitely connect over at TechCoach.dev. You can sign up for a free account, join us for Vibe Code and Chill. We have a great time, especially when Rod Brown comes, which is, every here and there. But maybe we'll get him on the next one, because I have some really good topics for our next Vibe Code and Chill, giving a recap of what I learned from my traveling. So really good stuff, a lot of AI stuff coming down the pipeline. So everyone, join me over at the Vibe Code and Chill so we can have a productive conversation about the future of tech, the future of AI at our next Vibe Code and Chill. But that's everything. Remember, tomorrow we're going to be dropping the video for Gemini Gemini's usage image that they just released last month. And I'm going to break down using Gemini, how to navigate the realm so that you don't end up blowing all your credits like that. All right. That's it. On our way out, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live and drop new content. And as well, TechBarbarians.dev. Join us over there. Let's run it up together. Let's go out there and win. That's all that matters. Nothing else matters. Just win. Let's win together. TechBarbarians, we are out.
Flawless victory.
We in the dojo. Ain't no days off. The way isn't training. You don't bleed in practice, you die in the field. Look, swinging the wood till my knuckles are bleeding. I don't need rest, it's the combat I'm needing. 10,000 hours, I'm locked in the zone. Carving my spirit right down to the bone. Stepping my radius, watch how I sever. I'm swinging this blade like I do this forever. Practice makes lethal, the rest make me cold. I'm gripping the steel till my body gets old. You talking that talk, but you skipping the gym. I look at the weekend, I pity for him. Every single morning, I wake up and strike. You never seen discipline looking like. I empty my lungs and I swing out the chest. I treat every shadow like it is a test. The way is the practice is war. I leave all my enemies down on the floor. Rep at the right, yeah, we put in that pain and don't talk about love, but the ways in training. Blood on the wood and the sweat on the mat. I'm drilling the bases, I'm leaving it flat. Rep at the right, yeah, we put in that pain and don't talk about love, but the ways in training. Slide in the footwork, I pivot and pop. I'm built for the trenches, I never will stop. Look at the calluses, cover my hands. I'm executing these tactical plans. You sleeping in late, I was up in the dark. Leaving the den and the wood in the bark. Slow down the tempo, I'm taking my time. Perfect the angle, I perfect the crown. 1,000 more cuts just to build up the muscle. You don't understand the extent of the hustle. Drilling the parry, I'm drilling the block. I'm beating the sun and I'm beating the clock. There ain't no secret, there ain't no hack. You step on the battlefield, you don't come back unless you put hours and hours of sweat. I am a consequence, I am a threat. Continual practice, I never retreat. I'm dropping the opposition at my feet. Rep out the rep, yeah, we put in that pain and don't talk about love, but the ways in training. Blood on the wood and the sweat on the mat. I'm drilling the bases, I'm leaving it flat. Rep out the rep, yeah, we put in that pain and don't talk about love, but the ways in training. Slide in the footwork, I pivot and pop. I'm built for the trenches, I never will stop. No days off, no excuses. You skip a day, you slip away. Strike 1,000 times before the sun is up. My mind is heavy, but my blade is light. Drill it again. Yeah, aggressive approach when I step in the ring. I swing with the force that a hurricane bring. Master the form till the form is a ghost. I'm doing the most when you're doing the least. I turn myself into tactical beast. The ways in training, it's session my brain. I'm walking through fire, I'm walking through rain. Ain't no arrival, it's only the grind. I'm leaving the rest of the rookies behind. Grab out the rail, yeah, we put in that pain and don't talk about luck, but the ways in training. Blood on the wood and the sweat on the mat. I'm drilling the bases, I'm leaving it flat. Grab out the rail, yeah, we put in that pain and don't talk about luck, but the ways in training. Slide in the footwork, I pivot and pop. I'm built for the trenches, I never will stop. Keep swinging, keep drilling. The ways of practice, yeah.